Hi guys, oh my gosh, this feels so weird to be in front of the camera, but yet I've missed it so much. This is my longest YouTube hiatus since my spinal fusion surgery in 2020 and 2021. Took a unintentional hiatus. If I would have planned this, I would have let you guys know, and definitely an unintentional hiatus and one that I didn't really know I needed. So I have not uploaded since April, which is like crazy, and it's almost the second week of June, and I'm back. I'm excited to create again and share with you what's been going on in my life. You guys know in February I had my bone anchored hearing aid placement surgery, and then 2 weeks later I had activation day, and that was super exciting and all the great things, and it's still great. I still have it, but in the middle of all of that, I was also in college full-time. I am not one to usually have a surgery during a college semester because my program is accelerated, so it's a 14-week class material in 7 weeks, and so it is like absolutely crazy. Any days missed is like absolute chaos. I was able to get in contact with my instructors, and like I literally only needed like a day or two extension on some of my assignments. It was really crazy, and the last 2 weeks of classes were like chaos. They were some of the most difficult classes of my semester, of my program thus far, and not really difficult. These classes were just really time consuming, really big projects, and I finished that semester at the end of April, and I like needed a break from everything because I feel like I never really took a break when I had my hearing aid placement surgery, because I just had to jump right back into school and just like keep going on my assignments, and it really, like, the surgery itself was not a big deal, and it was a very easy surgery compared to all my other surgeries. I mean, again, it was in the middle of an accelerated college program, so it was pretty, like, just a lot. I did need like a few days rest, just because like I physically was like not, and mentally just not able to perform at my best. Of that semester, just like once it was over, was just the weight lifted. It's truly indescribable. Like, I was happy to be done because, like I said, that was my first time pretty much ever since I started college that I had a surgery in the middle of it. The other surgeries that I've had while I've been in college have been a lot more major, and so I've taken the semester off, or like a portion of the semester off, and then joined a class when I was like ready. But this, I like kept going because it was so minor, but you literally can't miss like a few days because it just gets chaotic, and so that's kind of the position that I was in. And so once those classes were over, I was just like needed a break. Other things going on in my life that I just was like, again, needed a break. Hold on, how many times in this video am I gonna say needed a break? I was really excited because after the semester, I was like, yay, like summer, like I finally have time to film content and like do YouTube full time. And I found myself just like in this creative rut, like not inspired to create, not inspired to create, and not excited to create. And that's when I knew that I needed a break, because one thing I told myself when I started this channel is I never want this to become something that I ever feel like I have to do. I want it to always be something that I enjoy, and because I do enjoy doing this so much, but it's also really hard because, as you guys can tell, like I've struggled to like reach an audience. I've struggled to like gain a really large audience with this platform, and that, I'm not gonna lie, like that's been a little bit discouraging, and I think like I'd be lying to you if I said that it wasn't. But also in the same way, like I'm so grateful for all of you that are here and that do stay here through the ups and downs of my life, because I feel like I have a really unique perspective to share on this channel that you won't get from other YouTube creators and people that share their lives on the internet. I have a very unique life, a very unique set of circumstances and a unique perspective on those circumstances. Even though my audience has never really grown a lot since my time here on YouTube, I still really enjoy it. I am a very creative person. I love to share, I love to share my story. I love to learn from other people. I love to hear other people's story, and I have so much to share, and I love the creative aspect of YouTube, and social media has given people like myself the opportunity to share their lives in a way that I wouldn't be able to otherwise. And so no matter what, even if there's 10 of you watching, I want to still show up here, and I want to still create, and I still want to share my perspective with the world, and whoever decides to join and stay will do that. And I'm just trusting that God will use this platform in whatever way that He wants me to, and I know that He's allowed me to impact so many people already. Try not to focus on the number of people that I'm impacting, because yeah, I want to impact a lot of people, because like I said, I do have a really unique life perspective that I hope could help a lot of people. Just one person is enough for me, and I know that I've done that, and so that I will continue to do that and show up here no matter how many people are watching, because this platform has been and continues to be such a blessing. It's been in a really creative rut following that semester. I think it was just kind of the overwhelm of everything of the past few months previous, and just the overwhelm, it kind of caught up with me at the end. And if you're not a creator, a social media creator, you don't really know what this is like. But it's not fun to come on here and talk or feel like you have to make a video. It just shows in your video. So I didn't want to come on here until I felt ready and excited to create, because I knew it would just show through with the video. And that had nothing to do with anything or anybody. It was just a time in my life, a phase, as they say. I don't know. I am back, and I'm really excited to create. I have some really big things coming up in my life. I'm excited to share. There's been a lot of changes that are coming in the next year, especially in April. I have had to prepare for a lot of changes. It's just been that part of it's going to be really hard to talk. I have so many videos to share, but my service dog Chloe is fine, by the way. She turned 9 years old in April, and so she is nearing retirement, and I shared her when I first got her, and now she's nearing retirement. And so I see that I've shared aspects of my journey as a service dog handler. When I first got her, I just started posting, and I would post a couple times a month, if that. I started consistently posting on YouTube until 3 years into having her, 4 years into having her, I don't know. And she's preparing to retire next year, which is really, really hard. She's in good health, and I'll talk about why she's retiring, and I'll talk about, all of that. That will be for a separate video. So that's just one of the big changes that I'll be facing in the next year. Another thing that I just had to process is really, I'll talk about it. And then I only have 3 more classes and an internship this fall, and December 2022 I will be an alumni. I graduate from college finally. It has been a long time coming. I always expected to be the girl that had her degree within 4 years and got out into the real world. That wasn't God's plan for me. I had to take a huge detour, and as you guys know, scoliosis has completely flipped my world upside down and completely changed the trajectory of my life. Plans that I had, but God's plans are always better than our own, even when I can't see them. I'm overwhelmed with that because I feel like I need to hurry up and get my life figured out. I'm trying to figure out a career path, and I want to talk about this more, but I'm really gearing towards the healthcare industry, I guess you could say, realm, communications or interaction with patients, not patient care at all, nothing like that. I'm not gonna be a nurse, a doctor, whatever, nothing like that. But I whether it be like communications, or I really want to work in radiology, and like even if it's like working at the front desk and like checking patients in and like getting to know them, and like that, like I want to be involved in some kind of patient interaction in healthcare, and I'm specifically drawn to like audiology, otolaryngology, depending on like obviously because of my own personal experience. And I'm taking this out because to tell you how long I've been gone, I haven't even done a full video all about my hearing aid, and I promised you guys I would do an entire video literally all about this device, what every part of this device is, how I use it, how it works, all the things, all the accessories, everything about it. Haven't even done that yet, and I've had this for 4 months, 3.5 months. I also am like a very creative person, like want to continue doing this, so the healthcare side of my life may be part-time so that I can continue to do this. It all just depends how that pans out financially, but it's just crazy like how quick it's coming all of a sudden, like the end of this year. Like I'm gonna be a graduate, like class of 2022. So that's gonna be a huge change, because following that and like job interviewing and all of that, I'm wanting to move. So preparing to apartment search, do all of that, very nervous. And of course like inflation is at an all-time high, which is like great, is like when I'm starting my life. Love that for me. And of course I want to move to a big city, so of course that's more expensive. Love that for me. So things are just a bit stressful, but I know God will provide and I'll figure it out. And it's just, but it's a lot, and I just feel like I don't have the right tools, I don't know, to figure this out, like financially and just physically, and I don't know, it's a lot, but I'm trying to do one step at a time. And then another thing is, even throughout my YouTube hiatus, I have been working like full-time on my research fund. This month is Scoliosis Awareness Month, and it marks 1 year that I launched the Michaela Daybert OI and Scoliosis Research Fund at Michigan Medicine. I always dreamed that this fund would take off and that people would be invested in this cause, but I truly never imagined like the outpouring of support that I would receive from this fund. And honestly, like it gives me chills, because this is all that I ever wanted. Like this, it was hard for me to know if this would take off, because osteogenesis imperfecta and the severity of my level of scoliosis is so rare. There's not a lot of people that can say that 3% of Americans, or like the world, I don't know, have scoliosis, but not to the level that I do. And most people in their life, of those they know who have it, probably don't even know they have it. And so I didn't know if there would be a big amount of support from my community, from my friends, from my family to support this fund, because like obviously the reason that like cancer research and like heart disease research is so successful is because everybody knows somebody with one of those conditions, and it's so common. But osteogenesis imperfecta and the level of severity of scoliosis that I have is not. And like I said, musculoskeletal conditions like these two are the most underfunded, some of the most underfunded in medical research, and I'm bound to change that. And there are people who, like me, who have had to make life-changing, life-threatening decisions because of their musculoskeletal conditions. And so, but because of how rare these conditions are, there's not a lot of people that can say like, oh, my aunt has that, or my brother has that, or my uncle has that. Like, I get it, like this needs to be funded. Like, there's not a lot of people that can rally around me and say like, I too am affected by this cause because my loved one is affected by this cause. Not a lot of people can say that. For most people with scoliosis, it doesn't affect them to the life-threatening condition, life-threatening level that it has me. Because of that, I just wasn't sure like what the support would be, and like how, you know, I could get people involved and like motivated to support this cause. But it really has been so happy, and people have been so incredibly generous, and I truly believe with all my heart that like we will see change because of this fund. And that is my hope and prayer, and that is why I started this fund, because people who live this reality every day and go through the things that I've gone through, like, nobody's going to be more invested in it than the people like me who have gone through it and continue to live it every day. Like, even more than, like, my medical team, because my medical team gets to go home every day to their families and, like, not have to think about scoliosis or not have to think about osteogenesis imperfecta. Not that they don't think about their patients. I'm sure that they think about us all the time. But they don't live it every single day. They see it every day, but they don't live it every day. They can't walk in my shoes. And there's nobody that's going to be more invested in it than people like me. And the support from, like, complete strangers has been unreal. And, like, thank you is so cliche in, like, the medical research funding world, but, like, it's not enough. I truly believe we'll see change with this fund, and the past few months especially, like, it has just taken off. I reached out to so many people, to so many amazing companies who have been a part of this change and a part of this fund and supporting these endeavors. And so I cannot wait to share with you what is being done with this fund and what will be done with this fund and how much has been raised. And there's been thousands and thousands of dollars raised in a year. And I just cannot believe how many thousands of dollars, most of which are from complete strangers. Like, this is such a dream come true for me, to be able to turn this pain into purpose. And, like, this is all I ever wanted. And it is such a passion project for me. Like, you guys have no idea because you don't see the behind the scenes. So when you make a donation to my fund, you're making it to a 501c3, because the University of Michigan, like, the research fund program, like, it is a 501c3, so, but I'm not, like, they deal with, like, financial management of that side of it, and I just get to be, like, the pretty poster child that, like, asks for the donations and, like, you know, makes these events and things like that. But I'm doing, like, so much work behind the scenes, and, like, this isn't to tout my own horn. Like, I love this. Like, this is my passion, and the past, like, especially 7 months as it's taken off, like, I've spent hours, like, on emails and phone calls setting up events, and, like, it's crazy, like, how much work goes into raising this. The money wouldn't just flow in, but it's a lot. Like, I spend hours each week on this, and really interesting, I've said this in so many of my videos when I talk about it, is that there's not, like, an end date for this, like, project, for this mission, because until there's a cure, or until there's safer and better treatments, like, substantially, the work has to continue. And medical research, especially for musculoskeletal conditions, takes, like, millions and millions of dollars. I don't know if I'll be able to raise millions and millions of dollars in my lifetime, but I want to make a dent. I want to make a difference. And all of you and everyone who stands with me in this cause by donating to this fund, or even sharing a post about this fund, like, that is proof. Even, like, I'll talk about this in another video, but there was a post shared on LinkedIn, because it's a long story, but about an upcoming thing for my fund. Somebody else had posted about my fund or something, and then a complete stranger donated because she got Employee of the Month or something, and company that she works for, like, if you get Employee of the Month, they'll donate $500 to a cause of your choice. She chose the Michaela David OI and Scoliosis Research Fund. Like, complete stranger, saw the post on LinkedIn, like, so crazy. It's just stuff like that, like, just mind-blowing to me. So, as you can tell by the length that I talk about this fund, like, it is truly my passion, and it's given me so much purpose. So, anyway, that leads me into my next segue of this life update video, is that I have my first ever in-person fundraiser for the Michaela David OI and Scoliosis Research Fund. And up until this point, I had just been doing, like, virtual things or, like, just direct donations, because it is so new. And obviously I knew when I first launched the fund that people weren't going to come. Well, I shouldn't say weren't going to, but there wouldn't be as many people because they don't know about it. But now that there's so much traction with this fund, I've decided that now would be a great time to at least try to do a in-person fundraiser. I just want to. I want to get my community together and all of you together who can come. I'm really, really terrified because in-person fundraisers, especially when you're a smaller cause, a lesser known cause, I guess you could say, like, it's terrifying because I'm so scared that nobody will show up, even though there's like 20 or 25 people that have said that they're coming so far. But like, I'm still so scared that like I'm gonna be there all alone and it's going to be the most embarrassing thing in my life. But I'm like, I gotta start sometime, and so I did it. I scheduled it, I coordinated it all. It's been incredible. So I'm gonna do a video about that separately as well, but it's mark your calendar for June 18th. You'll also see a post about it. I already posted it. It's in the community tab of my YouTube channel. Also, the link down below to the Facebook page, the event page. It tells you where it is, the time, everything like that. I really hope you can come. Even if you're not local, you can share the Facebook page, like the event page. Again, even if you're not local, just share it anyway, even if you live in Texas, because maybe one of your Facebook friends knows of somebody who lives where this fundraiser is and will tag them. Like, literally, it doesn't matter where you live. You can share the Facebook link down below. As you can tell, I'm like so terrified that like nobody will show up. But I gotta do it. I gotta start sometime, and this is just the beginning. And, well, not just the beginning. It's been a year now, but so much change is going to happen, and I'm so excited to share it with all of you. The last update for this video, medical. I know a lot of you have been wondering because I have not talked about it at all. An update about my scoliosis, my chronic pain from one single screw. That is a conversation for another day. It is okay, like, I'm managing. You guys know me, I'm always managing. And it's, you know, I don't know. Everybody else's might be really bad, but for me it's like totally tolerable. So, I don't know. We all have different thresholds, I guess, of what we can handle, and I'm doing okay. But just some medical stuff, and then I haven't talked about this at all, like even before my hiatus, but in January I went because I'm ordering a new wheelchair. That's also going to be part of my scoliosis update. So, that's been chaotic as well. I think that's also part of the reason for my hiatus is because I'm on the phone so freaking constantly for this that it just sucks up so much of my mental energy, and it's just not a... If you know, like, ordering a new wheelchair is one of the worst processes to go through as somebody with a disability. Like, the amount of red tape is unreal. So, that's been a thing. But another scoliosis spinal fusion recovery update is coming soon. I never thought, like, this year, this December, it will mark 2 years since my fusion. It doesn't seem like that. I didn't think that almost 2 years into this, I would still be talking about it. I thought this would not I mean, I'll always have scoliosis and all of that, but I didn't think it would be affecting me to the level that it is, the effects from the surgery. I didn't think it would be affecting me as much as it is almost 2 years later, if that makes sense. Again, another video coming on that, but I'm going to end this video here. So long, so feels good to be back. I feel like excited to create and so much to share with you, and so I hope you guys are ready. I'll have a link down below to the fundraiser for the first ever in-person fundraiser for the Michaela Alliance Scoliosis Research Fund at Michigan Medicine. I hope you guys can come, and I will talk to you in my next video. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you soon.